Okay, hi guys. Sorry, retake. So we're sitting on our blocks today. The blocks that we have are going to be used throughout the class today. If you don't need the block, you can push it off to the side. If you want to use the block more, great. It's there to assist in some of the stuff we're going to do today. And with the hamstrings and shoulder stretches that we're going to focus on, specifically in the chest, just try to breathe through it. And if you're thinking of, well, how intense should these stretches be? On a scale of like 1 to 10, I would say somewhere in like a 6 or a 7. So something that you can stay with, but also breathe through, okay? Because breathing will help release some of that tension. So we're gonna sit and breathe and learn to do what's called a box breathing method. And what's really nice about box breathing is it's very centering and it's very containing. So if you were, say, out in the world and you are in your car and you are irritated, everybody, I was the other day, this is a breathing that can kind of bring you back into kind of a contained, more relaxed place, okay? And we're gonna use a 5 count for this box breathing. Like I said earlier, if 5 is, gets tough, it's hard, it feels like you're really pushing to create that length, then we'll go like 4 or 3, so you can kind of shorten that box breathing. So let's get real comfortable on the block here. Sit up tall. Let's bring the hands anywhere that's comfortable and close your eyes. And let's just begin with a normal breathing pattern through the nose. So gently closing the mouth and starting to breathe in and out through the nose. In whatever tempo feels good, we'll smooth it out as we go. And take about 5 cycles of breath here. And as you continue to breathe, we're going to start thinking through this box breath. So it's going to be a 5 count inhale, a 5 count hold at the top, a 5 count exhale, and then another 5 count hold. And so it's going to create this little box where we're just going to go round and round for a few cycles. And we'll do this all together, beginning with the inhale, inhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And continuing on like this for another 4 or 5 cycles. Shortening that count if it felt a little too stretched, so that that breath can be smooth and relaxed as you go through each section. Wherever you are in the cycle, go ahead and close out that box, making sure to get all 4 parts. And when you've finished with that box breath, you can just find a natural in through the nose, out through the nose rhythm that feels good and that you can maintain for the next 40 minutes. And now gently just fluttering those eyelids open. And staying on the block here, sitting up tall, taking your left hand towards your right knee, right hand behind, and just an easy twist. Breathing through this twist, so inhaling through some length and exhaling deep in that position. On your next exhale, release, and then we'll go to the other side. So left hand to the right knee, sitting up tall, and then exhale to twist. And inhaling, come back through center. All right, let's go ahead and come to the hands and knees. You can move those blocks off to the side, but not too far. So we'll need them in a little bit. Okay, and so hands and knees, the hands are right under the shoulders, knees under the hips. 5 cycles of cat-cow. So on your inhale, we'll drop the belly down, we'll arch the back and lift up. And then exhale, pushing through the floor, rounding chin to chest. Inhale to drop the belly, lift. And exhale to round. 3 more cycles on your own. If you want to add some movement to it, some wiggles side to side, some circles with the hips, go for that. All right, and let's find a neutral position with the spine. We're going to come into puppy pose. So you're going to keep your hips stacked over your heels. You're going to start walking the hands in front, only so far as you can keep those hips over the knees. And so you're going to press down through the palms and then draw the chest down. On your next inhale, gently come out of that. Back to the hands and knees. Thread the needle. So this is a twist. So we're going to reach our right arm out. You're going to drop that right shoulder onto the floor as you thread the arm through. And now you bring your head to the ground so everything's relaxed to the floor. And then press into that floor with the left palm to help you rotate the torso towards the ceiling. Inhale to come back to the hands and knees. 2 cat-cow just to reset. Good, and then switching sides, extending the left arm out. Threading it through and then coming down to the left shoulder. Let the head drop to the floor. And then pressing through the right palm to help you rotate and twist the torso towards the ceiling. next inhale, coming back to the hands and knees. Again, 2 cat-cow just to reset. Any additional movement that you like with the hips. All right, next up, child's pose side stretch. Bring the toes together and let those knees go a little wide. You're going to drop the hips towards the heels and walk the hands out in front. Okay, so this is our classic child's pose here. Next, we're going to walk the hands over to about 10 o'clock. Okay, so as you walk it over to 10 o'clock, you're going to reach a little bit more through that right arm. And then you'll sink the hips towards the heels a little bit more. Find a big stretch through the side body, through the ribs. And then play around with kind of peeking under that right armpit or rolling the ribs down towards the floor as you rotate a little to find different places for the stretch. All right, inhale, walk the hands through center. And then just keep going to the other side. This time, 2 o'clock. You're going to reach more through that left side. And as that left palm anchors, your left hip reaches back to create that length through the side. And then again, you can play around with peeking under the left armpit, rolling the outer left ribs down towards the floor to feel the places that need a little extra space. On your next exhale, we're going to walk the hands through center. And then inhale, just come up to the hands, but keep the knees where they are. Okay? We're going to come into single leg child's pose. So we're going to take our right leg and just send it out to the side with the toes forward. Okay? From here, we'll just gently drop the hips back towards that left heel. And then you can stay on the palms or come to the forearms. You can also make 2 fists with your hands and stack them and rest your forehead so that you're getting the stretch, but everything else can relax. And just continuing to breathe through the nose with that smooth inhale and exhale to help you stay kind of focused on the stretch, focused on relaxing where you can. All right, on your next inhale, coming back to that child's pose start position. And then let's go to the other side. So extending your left leg out, toes forward. And again, sitting the hips towards the heels. You can come to the forearms or again, stack 2 fists. Rest your forehead there so your shoulders can relax, your back can relax. You just feel the stretch through that inner left thigh. next inhale, come back to that hands and knees position. And just give those hips a little wiggle. Lift a couple cat-cow. All right, we're going to come onto the belly for cactus. This is a version of scorpion. So if you know scorpion, you'll be able to kind of make your way through it. So coming onto the belly, we're going to extend our right leg, our right arm out. Okay. Now you can start with the arm straight. You might find that angling it up helps to create more stretch for where you need. So we're going to start with the straight arm and then we're going to go bent arm. So from here, you're going to roll towards that outer right hip. You're just going to let that head come to the floor. That top foot can come up and over. Exhale to come back to the belly. And then you're going to bend that right arm so that that hand is in line with the elbow. Okay? And here you may again need to angle the arm up or down depending on where you need to feel that stretch. So start to then roll back over towards that outer right hip. On your next exhale, go ahead and come to the belly. And then we're going to switch sides. So extending the left arm out, starting straight arm, and then rolling towards that outer left hip. That head can relax towards the floor. And on your next exhale, coming back to the belly. Bending that left arm and coming into that more cactus position. Again, angling that elbow and arm in a way that as you start to roll, you feel that big stretch through the front of the shoulder. On your exhale, go ahead and come back to the belly. Good. And then gently press yourself into child's pose. Oh, so toes together, knees wide, arms out in front, forehead to the floor. All right, on your next inhale, coming back to the hands and knees. Now we're going to go into this. We only have like one or two standing poses. We're going to go into downward facing dog. So tuck the toes, straighten out the legs. And then from here, we're just going to like pedal out the feet. So bend one knee, draw the heel down, and just kind of go back and forth. And then from here, let's get those feet about hips distance and drawing the heels down. Gently walk the hands back towards the toes. You're going to come into an easy forward fold here. So soft bend in the knees, grabbing the elbows. Just let yourself hang. We just kind of rock side to side. Shake the head yes and no. Releasing the hands, and on your next inhale, just gently bring yourself up to a stand. Cool. Grabbing the block. Okay. You may or may not need this, but this is there for you. So you guys are going to begin with your feet at about hips distance, toes forward. And we're going to go into a fold. The block is there for support. So if you feel like you can go all the way to the ground, great, you don't need the block. But here, if you're feeling a little extra tightness, this is a nice way to give you some support without having to go all the way down. So toes are going to be forward to start. Bring that block right in front if you need it. And then we'll just go ahead and on your next exhale, we're just going to head and bow forward, coming down back into that easy fold, bending those knees just a little bit. All right, next inhale, go ahead and stand. Keep your feet at the same width, but go ahead and bring your heels in. Yeah, so you're kind of in what we would consider more like first position here. Yeah, okay. So inhale, just kind of sit that chest up tall. Oh, and exhale, let's go ahead and gently reach down for the block. You're going to find that that has a different stretch and a different feeling than what you just had. Just hold here for a couple cycles of breath, trying to relax into the fold where you can. And on your next inhale, gently go ahead and stand. Okay. Now, toes together, heels out. Yes. Okay. So inhale, lift through the chest. And exhale, let's gently fold. And again, you're going to feel different places here than what you just did. All right, on your next inhale, gently come up. Cool. All right. So next, again, you may or may not need the block. We're CrossFitters, so we squat a lot. But what the block might do is make it so that you can relax a little bit more. So I'm going to just kind of show you some options here. So we get into our squat, and I'm almost kind of seated on the block, right? And so now when I go in through the next position, I'm not really holding my squat position, but I'm in the squat, okay? You might find that you don't want the block and you can totally hold the squat, just like we would if we were stretching in a class. So if you'd like the block, let's set it at a height, right? We can go tall ways, medium, short. That might be supportive for you. Step in front of the block, and then let's go ahead and get down into our squat, okay? And I'm gonna just, chill and relax on that. Okay. All right. Now, we're gonna anchor that left elbow into the left knee. And then we're just gonna reach up and back. And exhale to bring that right hand down and anchor it into the right knee. And inhale, left arm. And exhale, release. One more on each side. So inhale to kind of lift the chest and rotate. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale, lift. Exhale to rotate. And exhale, release that hand down. And then let's just gently straighten the legs and come back and do an easy fold, nice and wide with the feet. Block can kind of go off to the side. And then a gentle stand, however you want to get there. Okay, cool. All right, next up, we're going to come into pigeon. You can use the block for pigeon under your butt cheek if you feel like you want a little less of an active position. And we'll start on the right side. Okay, so coming back down to hands and knees. We're going to take that right knee towards the right wrist. We'll scoot that left leg back. And again, if you want that support, if you're feeling tight today, the block can go under there so you can just let that hip relax. You don't have to hold it up, okay? So the block is just right under the little butt cheek there. Yeah. And then again, you can come to the forearms. You can make fists. You can use your block to put your head on your block if you're not using it for your hip. The idea here, though, is focus on the smooth breath and try to relax any place that you feel is holding extra tension. So maybe the toes can soften. Maybe the jaw releases. Maybe the shoulders can drop. And maybe the head can hang a little bit more as you just kind of rest in this position. For these last few breaths, try to deepen the position where you can. So maybe you can scoot the left leg back just a little bit. Maybe you can reach the arms forward and draw the chest down towards the floor more. For these last few breaths, we're going to try to increase that intensity just a bit. All right, next inhale, you're going to just gently bring yourself to a hands and knees position. And a couple cat-cow, yeah, just going to find a little bit of movement here. Sometimes when you hold that position, you can get a little stuck. All right, I'm going to go second side. So bringing the left knee towards the left wrist. Scooting that right leg back. Again, using the block how you need. So bringing it under the butt cheek or the hip, or using it for your forehead to help you relax and rest in this position. And just try to scan one more time. Can you soften the toes and the feet? Allow the shoulders to drop. Release the tension in the jaw and the face. And breathe. last few breaths, try to scoot that back leg back just a little bit, or bringing yourself forward more for the last few breaths. All right, next inhale. Come into the hands and knees, nice and easy. Ooh. Move that block off to the side, couple cat-cow. Yep. All right. And let's just go ahead and swing those feet around. And we're going to come into a straddle. So you might find that turning to face that way when you straddle your legs means that you got your heels on the mat, and that might be a little more comfortable. If not, you can keep your butt on the mat. So when we're in our straddle here, the goal is to start with kind of our torso sitting upright. So if we have to bring the straddle in a little bit, that's okay. And then we want our knees and our toes to keep pointing up towards the ceiling as we do this. So inhale to lengthen, then exhale, let's walk the hands forward. Keep turning those toes up towards the ceiling. They want to roll forward. Next exhale, walk the hands over to the left side, reaching the chest a little bit more towards those left toes. And on your next exhale, walk through center. And then inhale over to the other side. On your next exhale, walk the hands through center. Inhale to reach a little bit more forward. And exhale, walk the hands back towards you to sit upright. Okay. Now you guys are going to turn and face me. Bring those legs together. We're going to come into reverse table. This is going to kind of hit the front of the shoulders. So go palms flat behind you. Fingertips are going to face forward. We can put our feet flat on the mat. So from here, we're going to try to straighten the arms and then open the chest. Okay? Maybe this is enough. Okay. And then if we need more, we can always lift. Doesn't have to be a high lift, but we do want to lean the hips forward a little bit. We get a little extra through the shoulders and biceps. Okay. And exhale, bring the hips down. Just a little release and a little rest. And then one more. Hands behind you. Go shoulder blades, pulling in, straightening those elbows, and then lifting the hips. And exhale to release. All right. We're going to lay down on our backs now. Okay. So as we go back, we're going to start with a glute stretch. So place your left foot flat onto the floor. Right foot is going to go on top of that left knee. Or thread the needle. So we're going to bring the knees in, and we're going to thread that right arm through, grab back of the left thigh, or if you want a little bit more, we can go top of the left shin. That'll help pull that right knee in a little bit tighter. And then try to relax that upper body. The hands are the thing that's holding on. The shoulders, can you soften those? Even if the hands are working a little bit to hold position. Next exhale, gently release. And then we'll switch. So left heel over on top of that right knee. Let that left shin pull in. And maybe you grab for the back of the right thigh or the top of the shin. On your next exhale, gently release. And just bring both knees into the chest for a little squeeze. Now we're going to extend the left leg straight onto the floor. Right leg goes up towards the ceiling. And you can grab for the back of the right thigh, the calf, grab the toes, whatever you can reach. Something that allows you to feel the stretch without too much work for the upper body. Good, and then from here, just bend that right knee. Okay, pull that right knee into the chest, give it a little squeeze. And then you're going to scoot your hips over to the right side a little bit, just a little bit. And then you'll let that right knee fall over to the left. And as it falls, you're just going to allow gravity to do its thing. So feel that upper body just soften to the floor. Feel heavy. You don't need to push into the twist. Inhale to gently bring that right knee back to center. Give it a little squeeze. And then hug both knees in for a squeeze. And then extending the right leg onto the mat. Left leg will go up. Grab for the back of whatever you can on that left leg. All right, on your next exhale, you're going to bend your left knee, little squeeze into the chest. Now scoot the hips over to the left a little bit. And then let that left knee fall over to the right side. Again, everything gets heavy. torso just drops. Close your eyes. Keep breathing through the nose. All right, next inhale, bring that knee back through center. You're going to give both knees a squeeze to the chest. And then I want you to come into a tight little ball. So forehead's going to come towards the knees. You're going to squeeze everything together, the fingers, the feet. Big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, side out, legs extend onto the mat. Arms are alongside the body. You're just going to come into your final rest. Continuing to breathe through the nose, but now let it just find a natural flow. All right, on your next inhale, reach the arms overhead, full body stretch like you're waking up in the morning. And then gently rolling to the right side. Just a moment there. And then when you feel ready, you can start to make your way to a seated position, however you want to get there. Yes. Good. Hopefully you feel, that's the goal, is to stretch out a little bit to help downshift and down-regulate the nervous system, to help you balance out all the training you guys do. Next week, we're going to focus on the hip flexors and the quads and the whole front side. So a lot more kind of front opening, which we'll use the block for that as well. So I hope to see you then. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Hopefully you feel, I don't know about you, but I feel zenned out. So I feel nice and good. Thank you again, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you. Now I have the kids. I go from this to kids. It was such a funny, I know, right? It's such a funny transition to go from this to the kids, but this was good. For those blocks, if someone could help me collect them, and they go on the wall next to the yoga mats hanging up on the floor, that would be super helpful, because I got to make an obstacle course today.